Have you ever felt that strange feeling? You walk out your front door and suddenly, there they are. Your neighbor appears as if from nowhere, watering that same patch of lawn for the third time today. This isn't your imagination playing tricks. Sometimes walls really do have ears and bushes have eyes. Those neighbors who blur the line between friendly waves and invasive monitoring can transform your peaceful home into a place where you feel constantly watched, like you're committing a crime just by living your life. If you find yourself lowering your voice in your own kitchen, afraid someone might be listening, your instincts might be trying to warn you about something important. In this video, I'll reveal 5 unmistakable signs that your neighbor isn't just being nosy. They're deliberately watching you. These aren't random odd behaviors, but clear warning signs that could turn your world upside down if ignored. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll be able to spot the danger before it becomes part of your daily life. And if you believe your privacy is worth protecting, make sure to subscribe. We've got plenty more tips to help you stay alert. Sign number 1. They coincidentally appear every time you leave. Have you ever walked out your door only to notice the same neighbor appearing at that exact moment, time after time? This isn't just bad luck. It might be your subconscious trying to warn you about something unnatural happening. I'm not talking about those chance meetings when you bump into neighbors at the mailbox on a Saturday morning. I'm talking about that bizarre pattern where it seems this neighbor is magnetically drawn to your every move, where coincidence has clearly turned into deliberate surveillance. Let me tell you about Robert, a retired firefighter who enjoyed taking evening walks through his neighborhood. At first, he didn't think much of it when he noticed his neighbor, who lived 3 houses down, always seeming to check his car at the same time Robert went for his walk. Maybe just a coincidence, right? But then it kept happening. Whether Robert went out early in the evening or late at night, this neighbor was always there, pretending to organize an already tidy garage, sweeping a clean walkway, or just leaning against his car scrolling through his phone with no real purpose. The ancient Stoics understood this kind of subtle threat. Even without modern surveillance technology, they knew that the ultimate protection comes from controlling your mind, not the external world. Marcus Aurelius himself warned that disturbance comes not from events themselves, but from our judgments about them. When you get that gut feeling something's wrong, you need to trust it. Assess the situation clearly, but don't let fear take over. The goal isn't to panic, it's to understand, then respond strategically. If what started as suspicion has grown into near certainty, what should you do to protect yourself? First and foremost, stay calm and methodical. Start keeping detailed records, dates, times, and exact descriptions of any suspicious behavior. Your instincts alone aren't enough when it comes to personal safety. You need tangible evidence. Technology can be your ally here. Consider installing security cameras to monitor these situations over time. You might start noticing small patterns, like your neighbor consistently appearing near your property right after you leave. This documentation isn't just for your peace of mind. It could become crucial if the situation escalates to legal intervention. Another effective tactic is to vary your routine. Breaking predictable patterns can be incredibly revealing. Try leaving your house at unusual times, parking your car in different spots, or altering your daily habits. If someone is truly monitoring you, you'll notice them adjusting their behavior to match your changes in ways that feel unnatural. This isn't paranoia, it's situational awareness, your ability to read and analyze the landscape of your life and notice who's trying to redraw its boundaries without permission. In the end, here's what Robert did with his situation. He didn't immediately confront his neighbor. Instead, he acted with calm rationality. He changed up his walking schedule abruptly, noting how often the neighbor's suspicious behavior coincided with his movements. When the neighbor's actions escalated to sneaking into Robert's yard at night, he contacted local authorities. Because he trusted his instincts and took strategic steps, Robert was able to reclaim his peace of mind without falling into the traps of fear or anger. Here's the crucial truth you need to understand. When you feel watched, your subconscious is often detecting threats before your conscious mind recognizes them. Ignoring these signals isn't strength. It's a betrayal of your own well-being. Real strength lies in acknowledging the danger, protecting your inner peace, and moving forward with quiet, unshakable confidence. Your home, your mind, and your privacy are worth that much. Sign number 2, physical evidence around your property. The second sign that your neighbor is watching you isn't just a vague suspicion. It's concrete proof you can see with your own eyes. Things have become so obvious that you can't pretend otherwise anymore. These aren't just passing worries or unexplained feeling. They're physical evidence you can verify beyond doubt. And when physical objects in your home start changing inexplicably, it's more than just a violation of your personal space. It becomes an assault on your peace of mind. Imagine this. A man named Richard lived in a quiet neighborhood. He always kept his welcome mat slightly askew. It was just his habit. But after returning from vacation, he found the mat had been straightened and carefully repositioned. At first, he thought maybe the wind did it. But the next day, he noticed the potted plant by his front door, which he always positioned to face the sun, was now angled toward the street. Then he saw something else. His mailbox was slightly open, even though no mail had been delivered that day. These small details might seem insignificant at first, easy to dismiss, but Richard couldn't shake the growing sense that something was wrong. Someone had been interacting with his home, observing without leaving obvious traces. This is what makes this sign so emotionally devastating. When things in your personal space begin changing without explanation, it's not just about physical boundaries. You feel it in your gut. The home that should be your sanctuary starts feeling unfamiliar, leaving you with a creeping sense of vulnerability. Security experts recommend using simple markers that can reveal if someone has entered your home while you were away. For example, place a clear piece of tape across your door frame or a small slip of paper between the door and jamb. These telltale signs can show if someone has tampered with your space. And when you find evidence, document everything meticulously. Take photographs and keep detailed notes with dates. This isn't obsession. It's preparation to protect yourself. Don't ignore these physical clues, because overlooking them gives this intrusive behavior room to grow bolder. While this kind of external interference might seem invisible at first, it gradually infiltrates every corner of your personal life. And you shouldn't feel guilty for documenting it. You should feel proud for being prepared. Sign number 3. Their technology is directed at you. Have you ever considered that surveillance might not come with the sound of footsteps on gravel or knocks at your door, but could instead slip silently through the air around you? In today's digital age, monitoring someone no longer requires physical proximity. All a neighbor needs is a small camera pointed your way, a hidden device no bigger than a coin, or a router quietly intercepting your signals. This can become an open invitation for a stealthy adversary to watch you without your knowledge. If you notice your neighbor's security camera consistently aimed at your front yard, living room window, or even your children playing outside, this isn't just accidental placement or poor judgment. It's intentional. The emotional impact of this realization starts small, maybe some restless nights or an unexplained unease that creeps in. But over time it grows. You might find yourself hesitating to open curtains or feeling an irrational aversion to certain areas of your home. Then the anxiety starts taking root, and the place that once felt safest becomes an invisible cage. You begin doubting yourself, wondering if you're imagining things. But the truth is, your instincts are sounding alarms while your rational mind struggles to accept it. Technology has made this kind of intrusion frighteningly easy. The psychological damage from this surveillance is both silent and corrosive. It eats away at your sense of freedom and spontaneity, making every action feel performed for an audience you never agreed to have. You stop singing in the kitchen. You hesitate before going outside. You measure every word and watch every step. Without realizing it, you've stopped living your life and started performing it for an unseen observer who never earned the right to watch. The Stoic philosophers always emphasized controlling your mind as the ultimate defense for inner peace, even when the external world feels chaotic. As Marcus Aurelius taught us, disturbance comes not from events themselves, but from how we react to them. While you might not control the technology around you, defending your mind and privacy remains in your hands. You need to act carefully, not in panic. Start by examining your surroundings as if seeing them for the first time. Look up. Check areas where cameras might hide, in light fixtures, decorative birdhouses, or tree branches. Watch for strange Wi-Fi networks appearing at odd times or smart devices activating on their own. Sudden battery drains in your electronics can also be red flags. These are all signs worth monitoring closely. To protect yourself, you need to be prepared. Secure your personal tech with encrypted networks, firewalls, and properly positioned security cameras. Fortify your digital gates like a commander defending a city under siege. But most importantly, remember this. True victory isn't about remaining constantly vigilant. It's about refusing to let fear become your prison. Set clear boundaries, physically, digitally, and mentally. And once you've established those boundaries, live fully within them. No surveillance can touch what's inside you. Sign number 4. Their behavior escalates to obsession. The fourth and final sign that your neighbor has crossed from curiosity into dangerous territory is when their interest turns into full-blown obsession. Numerous studies show that in over 70% of stalking cases, the victims knew their stalker personally and often ignored early warning signs of escalating behavior. These escalations don't happen overnight. They creep in gradually, step by step, until the situation becomes critical. Think about your small interactions with this neighbor, how they linger a little too long during conversations, how their comments include strange details you never shared with them. How many times you've felt that twinge of unease but dismissed it, afraid others might call you paranoid. Consider this story. A woman named Sarah lived in a quiet neighborhood. At first, she didn't pay much attention to her neighbors' odd behaviors, like how they'd wave excessively when she left for work. But over time, they began asking about her job and mentioning details she'd never discussed with them. Then one night, she found a note under her doormat that said, "Have a good trip," even though she told no one about her travel plans. At first, she thought it was coincidence, but soon realized the truth. In the following weeks, their behavior grew increasingly intrusive. They even entered her garden when she wasn't home. This isn't an unusual story. It's a painful reality for many people who find themselves under increasing surveillance. What begins as neighborly interest slowly warps into something pathological. From a Stoic perspective, your response must be swift and decisive. Don't give others room to overstep your boundaries. Learn from Marcus Aurelius, who taught that external events can only disturb us if we allow them to. Documenting your neighbor's behavior becomes your weapon to protect your privacy. Act before the situation turns threatening. This doesn't necessarily mean direct confrontation, but rather firm defense of your life and rights. Remember, obsession doesn't announce itself with shouting. It slithers in quietly through small actions. When you recognize these signs early and respond appropriately, you can prevent the situation from becoming disastrous. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action to protect yourself despite that fear. Your instincts are your oldest shield. Trust them. If you found this video helpful, don't hesitate to subscribe now. The knowledge you gain today could become armor for your safety tomorrow. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and above all, stay true to yourself.